Now, organizations, as HR professionals, we must have metrics in organization to measure the pulse of our customer service. Okay, so there's the tendency for you to get used to your room so much that when there are cobwebs building up, you don't even know that there are cobwebs. It will take someone who came from outside to say, oh, see cobwebs in your room. And perhaps it's been there, but because of the contempt of familiarity, you are so used to the environment, not being able to spot that cobweb that is trying to mess up the corner of your wall. Hence, HR must put measuring tools in place such that they're able to feel the pulse, the internal pulse of what the organization stands and the external experience people are getting. And the question is, why measure? There's a wise saying that what you can't measure, you can't manage. Yes, no matter how good we want to, bring in, customer-centric people in an organization, time will come where, the contempt of familiarity will set in, and some lethargy will set in, some getting used to, and people begin to be their real self. Customer service, HR personnel must be that conscience, that trigger, that light that keeps that flame burning, that fuel that must keep that flame of customer-centric experience burning. And you can only do that by, measuring it. Several ways to be looking at. Some form of survey, some form of questionnaire will help. A quantifiable way to assess how well organization meeting customer expectation is a winning streak for any organization. How? Mostly surveys or one-on-one interview. I've had cause in the course of my career to ask, when I go to the field to work, I manage managers of state or territory or states together. When you tell them you are coming, what they normally do is to go and do the window dressing. They go tell the customer you're likely going to see that my director or my general manager is coming. This is this, this is this. Most often than not, when I get there, my instinct tells me, I work instinctively a lot. So I could see or sense the window dressing. And you hear them saying, oh, welcome, sir. You're welcome. How is, they begin to ask you some familiar, in the course of exchanging pleasantries, they ask you some familiar thing to know that, look, this person is coming from somewhere, right? So what I do most times is that when they say go right, I say, no, let's go straight and then turn left. Like, no, okay, let's start here. I say, no, let's go here. Why? Because it's possible what you want me to see, you have dressed it all up, but what I want to see is your authentic self. And seeing your authentic self will not make me, will help you. I'm not being wicked. I'm just going to get that feedback to debrief you before I leave from your territory or leave your state or your region after that experience. Now, so our questions must be so tailored that, it provides the right feedback so that it's not window dressed. It's not a walk in the park, so to speak, so that, it's more like stage managed, right? For internal customers, we use surveys like engagement surveys, questions that are all wrapped up, not directly, negative or positive questions, such that, the person is able to say how he or she feels, or the questions that have some superlative grading, maybe questions like, do you agree that, for instance, company ABC cares about her customer? Strongly agree, not sure, disagree, or strongly disagree. These all have metrics which you can measure at the end of the day. If this simple survey, online today, you can create these surveys, and I'm sure you know this better than I do, right? The Net Promoter Score for any organization tells how well people are willing to recommend that brand, how well people are willing to recommend that product. Surveys, quarterly, monthly, annually, biannually, can help, determine. This is internal. If I cannot recommend MTN for people to work, then there's a problem. So if I attempt a question like, would you like to recommend MTN as a good place to work, for instance, right? And by the way, we do this a lot in MTN to gauge how people will, recommend MTN as a place to work. By saying no, I'm simply saying MTN is not a good place to work. So whilst I'm there, I'm just there to earn my salary, right? So such very intelligently crafted question will help. Now for external, right, the Net Promoter Score will tell, some questionnaires are so designed to get such feedback. The CSAT score is also important. Customer satisfaction score, right? All this you can Google, you can check, and I'm sure a couple of us are well trained on this to know how this survey. Sometimes we do this survey through a third party, or sometimes we deploy them directly. But whichever way, make sure you are getting the authentic result. I was checking out from a particular hotel yesterday, Continental Hotel, and they said to me, could you please fill our survey? I said, I do that online each time I come. As soon as I leave, you send me a mail, and I get to fill those survey because I enjoy my experience there compared to another hotel, which we all know in Lagos. I think I'm free to call the name. Sometimes I stay in 𝐒𝐞, and sometimes I stay in Continental. But I've checked this too, and I somehow have this experience. I feel better with Continental, and that's because each time I left, they send, and I'm sure they do that to all other customers. Now, I was telling my wife the other day, yesterday, that I went to their gym, and I realized that they brought in more, equipment, gymming equipment, right? I got to the hotel this time. There was a glass of juice. There were fruits, pastries. Even though I don't do well with them, and it just shows there was a card waiting for me in my room to say welcome. I never got that in the other place, right? So if you ask me to feel a CSAT, I would definitely feel something, in favor compared to the other experience. Now, the question is that as the soul and the conscience of our organizations, HR that you are, what part do you have to play? Do you really have a part to play? I say to you, yes, you've got a part to play. What is that part? What is that role? That part in this space is, how do you leverage the insight from this survey? Most often than not, this is left to the research department organization where we have research, right? In my organization, for instance, in the HR unit, we have employee experience. They manage the experience internally while marketing manage the experience externally. But a proactive HR team must manage both the internal result of survey result and external, don't see it as a piece of trash. You must be interested in that survey. Businesses have gone extinct today because people, leaders, HR did not pay conscious attention to surveys that were done, complaints, so to speak, by customers. Now, what part do you have to play? Do you visualize this data as enabling the business? You must. Somebody said to me once, usually an organization is the sales guys and finance people that transit to become CEO of the organization. And I said, no, I've seen an organization, very big one, that the HR head transited to become the CEO. They say, how? I said, I got feedback that she was always interested in the feedback that came from the sales team. She was always interested in the data that came from the finance department. She didn't just see it as mere jargons, profit after tax, right? EBITDA. She understood it clearly. So when they went for board meeting, which she was privileged to sit, and ESCO, which is the management team of organization, she spoke from a point of knowledge. She referred to statistics as though she had them at the tip of her fingers, which she actually did. This built her up. And one of the engagement with the board, the chairman took note of her and said, I've always read, each time you come here, I realize that, look, you seem to have a complete 360 understanding of what this business is all about. And I want to say to us as HR professionals, we must step out from our comfort zone and ensure that, look, we take the bull by the horn by understanding this data and speaking to it, taking it and, you know, interpreting it. And when you don't understand, please ask questions. Ask the subject matter expert. If it's finance, go to the finance director, go to the chief finance officer. Depending on your level, you can ask your peer, ask your colleague. If it is customer service, ask them. So that when you speak, you are speaking not just, okay, they're waiting to talk about the interviews and the new hires and people who have left and all that. No, have an all-round perspective of the business. As you begin to speak, right, people will understand that you have not just knowledge that is restrictive to your own HR space, but knowledge that is broad, knowledge that is relevant to running an organization. Now, it's important to know what type of performance management system you are developing. You must stay alert, pick up the signs of complacency. This is very important. You must be that conscious that reminds the CEO, that reminds the head, that reminds the chairman that, look, we are sleeping off. And if you must do that yourself, by yourself, in yourself, for yourself, you must not sleep off. You must every day tell yourself, I need to spot the cobwebs growing in this organization. As we begin to round up, who is the thought leader? Right? I have a word cloud here. A thought leader is someone who is proactive, right? As an HR professional, are you proactive? Are you visionary? Are you strong in terms of decision? Do you drive what you believe in? Are you convinced to pursue and prosecute what you are convinced about? What are your convictions? What are your expertise? Like I said just a while ago, you must have a 360-degree understanding of the business, which you sit as HR professional. And forgive me, you don't need to be the HR director. You don't need to be the Chief Human Resources Officer for you to build this competence. You can actually build it from where you are, right? You must be insightful. And I've just talked about having understanding of the numbers, having understanding of things that are not within your comfort zone, that appears to be jargon. When you understand them, they are no longer jargons, but things that will begin to resonate with you. And so that when you speak through them, you sound as though you have an all-round understanding of the business. And I'm sure you will have had that, all-round understanding of the business. You must be someone who motivates. That's who's a thought leader, and many more. You must be adaptable. And I need to speak to adaptability. In these days where we have, the fast-paced, technological advancement in terms of, solutions in the workspace, you must adapt easily. You must understand new trends, what is happening. It doesn't matter if you've been don't say, we've been this, what we've been doing 25, 30 years ago. No, you must. My son, I used to have an app. So I realized that my son took a picture and told me, I asked him, I said, where did you get this from? He told me about it. He said, Snapchat. I know I used to be on Snapchat. I quickly downloaded it again. As somebody who worked in that space also, the IT technology space, to say, I need to, know what is happening in that space so that my son, I can discuss with him and engage with him at a level because of what he's exposed to, right? I'll just try to run through this, right? Thought leader, they inspire and influence others. You can inspire as a HR personnel, inspire people to maintain the momentum of their service experience, right? Not just that, you also influence them by what you do, how you speak to your internal customers, how you speak to your staff, how you treat them, right? You must exemplify expertise, and innovation. If you cannot adapt, you can't innovate. If you can't follow the trend, if you can't understand the trend, it will be difficult for you to innovate. You must demonstrate vision, right? And I've said it, by adapting to, to current trend and understanding what needs to be done. Your communication skill, I can't overemphasize this. What you say is as important as the way you say them.
Doing a good job, sir. 15 minutes more.
Okay, rounding up. Okay. So what you say is important is more, how you say something is more important than the way you said it. You say it. Somebody said, you must have the uncanny ability to tell your team, go to hell, and they begin to look ahead to the journey of going to hell, not, assuming that hell is a beautiful place. So you must communicate with tact, with some strong emotional intelligence, even when the organization is not on that trajectory of expressing or delivering the right customer service. Because we have said it, that you are what you want to see in your organization. You must be what you want to see in your organization. Okay. Okay. So thought leaders in the customer service space needs to anticipate the future, right? We need to, not just for the CEO, right? We need as much as possible to anticipate the future. What are the trends? What are customer service trends? Today, people are building shops where contactless, no humans inside. MTN just came up with a shop where you don't need to meet anyone there. There's no physical contact. All you need to do is to book an appointment on your phone, go and scan the barcode, and the shop opens. You go in and do all you need to do. Today, shops in UAE are being converted to, contactless, customer service experience. You must be able to understand and position yourself in that mode by reading up emerging trend on what, it's happening in other climes, such that, in the journey with the organization, you are able to also guide their perspective. You're able to guide their thought process in arriving at, a destination that, will provide that exceptional customer service, ahead. HR professionals as thought leaders must advocate for customers. They must advocate for customer-centric policies, right? And when you begin to spot these cobwebs, do you sit down and craft a policy? Do you seek the CEO? Do you say, look, this is what I think we need to do? That, for instance, when you realize that lethargy in customer service setting in, and that internal customers are not well as treated. I worked in an organization where, at a point, the internal customers were very disgruntled, and the company didn't care because they were making money. They didn't care, right? And then some of us began to leave. Shortly before we left, they offered us heaven and earth. This is what we'll give you. Please see it. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. And I said, no. The culture at this point was getting toxic. The internal customers were not treated the way they should. And by the time we left, the two of us left on the same day, and we controlled the space, the geography that represented the growth, geography for the business, so that that's where they were getting their growth against competition. And when we left, that's part of that geography, a chunky part of the northern part of the country, began to suffer. So feedback indicated that, look, they felt, with or without us, even after we turned down the offer that they gave to keep us back, they felt, a difference was not going to be felt, but it was truly and truly felt. So we must, as HR professional, realize when the internal customers are getting disgruntled, when people from the feedback and surveys feel that things are changing, and will provide, requisite policies to address this. Okay. Okay. Service excellence about, you see, I canceled it. It's not about meeting customer expectation, but exceeding it, right? I can't overemphasize this, but as a HR professional, you must understand that, look, you want to get people who will not just meet customers' expectation, but exceed it. A wise man once said that excellence is a choice and mediocrity is a natural trait. Natural trait for people to greet people, right? But it takes an exceptional service customer service personnel to greet with a smile, with a body language that exudes joy, that exudes acceptance, that exudes, customer experience, right? So we must just take a peep, trust our instinct to get people who not just meet, but exceed. In the case of what the story I started with, the Access Bank met my experience, but GT exceeded it. I have no shares in this company, not promoting anything, but just sharing from my own personal experience. So it's important we have that, right? So we must be seen as people driving the culture. And driving means that sometimes you need to refuel. You need to refuel. I mean, I can't be driving from here to Lagos, for instance. I mean, from Kaduna or Abuja to Lagos without refueling my tank. So we must need to stop, importantly, to say, are we getting it right? Are we making progress, right? And when we identify gaps, are there training intervention? I know today a lot of businesses have frozen, training budget. Yes, I understand because of the bottom line. But can we do knowledge share? Can HR say, look, internally, can we get people who can train our people, right? At really no cost, and maybe adjust a small, bonus, voucher. Maybe I say, look, can you prepare slides to train people on customer service, right? And all of that. So without not necessarily breaking the bank, especially when your company is running on a tightrope of budget, you can actually be innovative, creative enough to do this in-house. And suffice it to say, who says you, who is the conscience and the soul of customer service in your organization, cannot even do this training? Yes, I know sometimes employees want to hear from somebody. It becomes variety becomes the spice of life. You could allow that to happen, right? But be at the forefront of driving customer experience, right? I can't overemphasize employee engagement, right? Right. If you do the right thing, do the right training intervention, both internally, right? You discover that, you still keep, you maintain a good, engagement score or engagement performance of your organization. Okay. A few minutes to go. HR must not be recognized a profit center in an organization, but you should ensure that your staff are engaged and motivated. I've said it before, might be a thankless job, but right, if organization thrives, you have done very well. And that will be that big reward. That will be that big thank you, because at the end of the day, everyone who came to the organization, apart from the owners of that organization, was somehow directly or indirectly recruited by HR. So you can always beat your heart, beat your chest and say, of a truth, I was part of a team that recruited this person. Perhaps you just collected the person's CV, or you were that HR specialist who did the basic put together. You're not even part of the interview, but you were part of the process. Give yourself thumbs up and say, I'm part of this organization's success story. If I'm recognized or not, I have contributed my quota. And well, if nobody rewards me, the Almighty is there to see what I have done, right? If we do this, we'll entrench a service excellence culture in our organization. And the ultimate aim of this service culture is increased revenue that is driven by customer loyalty. I'm convinced that nothing we do, this is by Lawrence Bossidy, it's more important than hiring and developing people. At the end of the day, you bet on people, not on strategy, right? Strategy will fail on the canvas of hiring the wrong people, but strategy will always succeed when you do your bit as HR professional by engaging the right people. HR managers are the secret sauce to achieving service excellence and corporate success. By focusing on engagement, talent acquisition, and development, they can create a thriving workplace that benefits both employees and customer alike. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is insightful. And I'm sure the participants tonight have got a good time for themselves. I want to sincerely appreciate this due that has been done on this. Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate it. Please, I will still want to have you around because I know there will be questions. The moderator will take that up. But we also have in the house a 𝐒𝐈𝐏𝐿 guru, I call him. A 𝐒𝐈𝐏𝐿 guru. Let me quickly introduce him before the moderator take over the question and answer session. I would like to introduce him and also take a little time to just have our Vice President speak to us. Tonight we have in the house Malam Aminu Yahu. Malam Aminu Yahu is a member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria and a member of several other professional bodies, including the Nigeria Institute of Management and member Learning and Development Network International. Mr. Yahu, I popularly call him Malam Yahu. At present, they are working as the manager 𝐒𝐈𝐏𝐿 in the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Prior to this appointment, he worked at different human resource functions from recruitment to manpower planning to performance management, and most recently head of admin and reporting in the Human Capital Management Department. He's an SME enthusiast. He is a leader for excellence. He's a trainer for excellence. And he holds a bachelor degree from Ahmadu Bello University, the famous Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. And a decade later, he obtained master's degree from Bayero University, Kano, presently a doctorate student at the University of Abuja. Tonight, I have in the house, Malam Aminu Yahu, a 𝐒𝐈𝐏𝐿 guru, I would like to call him. Malam Aminu Yahu, at the appropriate time, I'm sure you can unmute yourself, Malam Yahu. Can you please unmute yourself? I'm sure you can do that now. Malam Yahu, please unmute yourself.
My chairman, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, all. The presenter, lead presenter, our vice president of our great institute.
Yes.
Good evening, esteemed colleagues on this call.
Thank you so much, sir. Malam Aminu, I would like to also let us know that he's an elected council member of our great institute, the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. He's an elected council member and a very big position in our institute. Thank you for honoring to be a panelist tonight. And I would like to quickly invite our vice president to just share her thoughts and speak to us. She will be bringing some word from the president to us tonight, who always the president and the leadership of our institute are always interested in capacity building and professional development of our people. And tonight she's here with us. She has stayed a long hour to be part of this. Tonight, introduced to us our own vice president of our institute, and tonight she will be bringing some few line of thoughts to us tonight. Please welcome with me Mrs. Chidi Obiejesi, MCIPM, the Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. You are welcome.
Good evening, my chairman,
Thank
Mr.
you.
𝐒𝐈𝐏𝐿 𝐿. I greet you. Good evening, sir. Our elected council member, Aminu Yahu. Good evening, too. Our distinguished speaker, Mr. Thank God, Otokpa. Good evening, sir. Our distinguished colleagues here present, learning with us, I want to say it's a pleasure to be here. And I really am grateful that I had the opportunity to be part of this program. I've been listening since, and I've picked very, very cogent points and taking copious notes of what has been said so far. On behalf of the President and Chairman of Council, I must say it's a pleasure to be here, and I bring you greetings from him as well. I want to say that, like I said in my chat, as the Vice President and one saddled with the responsibility to take care of the branches, I felt it necessary to be here to share with us, to also identify with us on this occasion. What we are doing today is very apt because that's what CIPM is known for, building skills and inculcating professionalism in our members to ensure that we deliver the right value in the organizations. This is particularly interesting because we took it out of the normal HR learnings to deal with topic that has its bearing on the core business. That is what customer service is all about. And our guest speaker have laid a very beautiful background because he has also brought out the crux of the matter that we as HR persons, all we do every time is to build on customer service, to hire people who engage people, and even internally and externally, we deal with people. So customer service is a key skill for us, in as much as we do not play it up that much, but it's a key skill for us if we are going to deliver on our role. Thank you very much, Mr. Tengod, for laying that background. And thank you, my chairman and ESCO of Kaduna branch, for bringing out this topic. Thank you also to our honorable, esteemed elected council member and other speakers. I know that Sukunda is expected to be here and our other speakers here. Thank you so much for taking out this time. And thank you all of you for even wanting to learn and hone your skill, because that for us is key if we need to add value to organization. And that is what we are meant to do, to build businesses and ensure that the businesses achieve their core purpose and core targets of being created. Thank you, everyone. My chair, I won't want to take much of our time because I'm also eager to learn from Aminu Yao this evening and to learn from the rest of us as we sit in here and learn this evening. Thank you so much, my chair, and do enjoy the rest of this session. And please, members and non-members as well, this is what we do here at CIPM. So please sit in and learn. For what we are learning today is really key for our roles and our profession. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate your time always to see to the fact that the branches are doing well. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and greetings to our president and chairman of council. Thank you again, Mr. Tengod, for that which you have just done. I would like to also announce that before I hand over to the moderator, Mr. Napoleon, the registrar of Kaduna Customer Service School, I will be standing in for Mrs. Yakubu Sukunda, who has to attend some urgent private family issue tonight, and she's unavoidably absent here. Also, I will be standing in. She has given me the empowerment to be here to do this and double as the host, and of course, as the panelist too. So I hand over to Mr. Napoleon, who will be taking this from here. Mr. Napoleon. Can you please unmute yourself, Mr. Napoleon?
Can you hear me loud and clear now?
Yes.
Good evening, distinguished participants and all protocols observed. Quite a great evening. Lessons learned, delivery with precision and all that. We are grateful for this opportunity to be part of this great learning today. I think I can go ahead with the questioning now.
Yes, please go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay.
Malam Yao is already waiting.
Hello, you said what?
I said Malam Yao is already waiting. and I will also be participating.
Yes. So we have some questions here. Would like the panelists to answer. First is directed to Malam Yakubu, I guess.
Malam Aminu Yahoo.
Malam Aminu Yahoo. Okay. The question is framed like this. Now, how does the overall corporate service excellence, performance and the bottom line? I take the question again. How does the overall corporate service excellence culture affect corporate performance and the bottom line? So, Mala Aminu, please, you. And then sequel to this question is, how can HR managers drive a workforce orientation that will culminate into corporate service culture at all levels, leading to overall performance? I take that again. How can HR managers drive a workforce orientation that will culminate into corporate service culture at all levels that can lead to overall organizational performance? So we crave your indulgence to take 5 minutes each for this question, and do justice to that before we come up again for the next questions, please. Thank you very much. Mr. Aminu, please.
Okay.
Hello?
I think.
Yeah, Malam Aminu, you can fire on now, please.
Please unmute yourself, Malam Aminu.
Okay. Thank you so much. Apology. I don't know. I couldn't have the authority to unmute myself, so it has to be controlled from there. The first question is talking about driving workforce orientation that will lead to corporate service culture and, of course, overall performance, yes. Right? That's like the role of HR manager. Okay.
Very well.
Looking at the question, you see, for every organization that is going into or trying to build a corporate service culture, the first thing that the HR need to do is to understand the vision of the organization. Why I want to start with vision is because, firstly, you see, the way organizations are, from time to time, our visions kind of get outdated. So as we are moving into business, we should be understanding that what exactly is the organization looking into. What is, because strategically, the organization needs to be updating or reviewing, looking into its strategic objective and designing its vision. So as HR, it is important that you are in tune with what the leadership or what the board of your organization is looking into. What is their vision? You have to understand the vision. If you understand the vision, you should be able to communicate it in such a way that a culture can be derived from the vision. That is to say, as HR, we have the responsibility, to like roll out programs, processes that will translate into a culture in our organization. And we must make sure that we do it in a way that our staff, the employees, will understand the culture of that organization clearly. And how will you do it is you too, by leading by example. As leader, whatever culture you want to institutionalize in your organization, you must make sure that you walk the talk, not just be preaching. You can't just be preaching what you cannot do. No, you must lead by example. You must make sure that you model a behavior that you expect your team members, your organization, your staff, your employees should replicate. Beyond that, you see, customer service is a very special area. No matter how good you are, you need to be reminded at regular intervals. So because of that, you must ensure that you have a training plan, be it formal or informal, a kind of orientation, you know, learning, what do you call it, knowledge sharing session. You must have a kind of a process by which you inculcate customer service, activities in your organization. And not only that, if you are employing, just like what the speaker mentioned, at the time of recruitment, you need to be deliberate in getting the employees or potential employees that will fit into the culture of your organization. You must also make sure that at the point of recruitment too, even though you carefully selected those that will fit into the culture of your organization, you still need to introduce customer service, presentations in your onboarding process. In your organization, you must also ensure that you foster open communication. Communication in the sense that there is room for feedback. You encourage your staff to talk to you as a leader. You encourage your customers. In fact, that is why in the area of customer service or in the field of customer service, we don't see anybody as staff or employee. We see everybody as customer. So you must make sure that your customers, that is to say, both internal and external, there is room for feedback. It's very important. Beyond that, you must ensure that your performance management system in general, customer service is embedded in it, such that you will have a matrix by which you can assess in terms of customer service delivery. Beyond that, like I said, you need to be more measuring and monitoring whatever you are doing from time to time. And like I said, walk the talk. You must lead by example. You must ensure that whatever you are doing is exactly the culture that you want your staff to inculcate. And you must sustain that momentum. By the time you are able to put these strategies together, I assure you that the whole organization will be operating, in a customer-centric manner, and it will certainly have dramatic, considerable improvement in the way you do things, and of course, the bottom line of your in your organization. Thank you so much. That's, I think, the first question. Can you come with the second question, please?
Okay. The second question is, how can HR managers drive a workforce orientation? Now, that's suppose that from basic recruitment processes down to managing the talents available for structured portfolios in the organization, just to foster the overall performance. So there is no lacuna, at all levels from whatever chain of command organizations have. So how can the HR managers drive the workforce orientation? That's the question, sir.
Okay, thank you. I think in a way I talked about that briefly. So in terms of talent acquisition, like I rightly mentioned, and of course, this is somewhat a part of what the lead speaker spoke about, you need to be conscious and deliberate in your recruitment. One, what is the culture of your organization? If you want to entrench a customer service culture at the beginning of your recruitment process, you need to understand that the people you are going to employ are those that have passion for people management. Because one thing is, as our personality differs, you know, there are people that naturally they find it difficult to socialize. They have problem with communication. And I think, of course, the lead presenter mentioned something relating to communication too. One thing that is very vital in customer service is communication. How do you communicate? And of course, like at the beginning of his presentation, he asked the question, what is customer service? The truth is, customer service is nothing other than exceeding the expectation of your customer. So the people that you are, make sure that they are people that are ready to go all out to exceed the expectation of your customer. Of course, they will not do it alone, because you have to provide certain things that will help them do that. Just like his experience with Access Bank and GT Bank. You can see that the leadership of GT Bank has already provided technology platform that will aid in customer service delivery. And of course, because of the training of the staff, as he met one of the customer representative with smile, she redirected him to where he will get his ATM card. This is to tell you that it is a combination of the leadership strategy to automate certain processes that will aid customer interaction with the bank, or sorry, not the bank, with your organization, and also the staff that will interact with the staff, so with the customer. So you need to ensure that at the point of recruitment, you are able to get the right person that will do the right job for you. Beyond that, after recruitment, of course, like I mentioned again, you need to train, communicate. In training, of course, communicating the vision, the mission, the core values, of your organization. You must make sure that your employees imbibe those as a culture. For example, just yesterday, yes, Friday, there was a letter from my office that I sent to one organization. Apology, I will not mention the name, but it's a government organization. I sent the letter around 10 a.m. My staff that went there called me and said, nobody. I said, how come nobody? He said, yes, nobody in the office. So the only excuse I could have given was that maybe because of this protest, the office decided to say they shouldn't come to work. But yet, for me, they have forgotten that they deal with customers, because I am a customer to them. And I wanted something from them as at that material time, but there was nobody. So the letter that we wanted to dispatch, there was nobody to receive for us. So you can imagine, if as a leader, you want to serve your customers, but you are telling your staff to come work let's say 8 to 8:30 a.m. and you as a leader, you don't to come work until around 12 or 11. You are not walking the talk. Same as, when interacting with your customers, what you tell them, how you address them, form part of what you are teaching or giving back to your staff to learn. So these are things that we must make sure that as long as we want to have a customer-centric corporate organization, we must begin from the recruitment, the selection, the training, performance management, everything that is HR in nature, we must factor in customer as our target. That was why I was so interested in what the lead speaker said concerning that for customer service, you must be obsessed with customer. You must be obsessed. So all you are thinking will be around your customer. Who is your customer? What are your customers' needs? How do you make your customer happy? That should be your target. And that is the only way you will have a customer-centric organization. And I assure you that by the time you have a customer-centric organization, what you are going to have is not small, because there will be customer loyalty. And once you have customer loyalty, what you will have is that your sales will increase, revenue will go higher. It will, increase employee engagement. It will enhance your brand reputation. There will be a lot of referrals. You will have your efficiency, level of operational efficiency will improve. And of course, motivation, because even your staff that you are seeing, your employees, the more they are getting sales, there is tendency that the higher their bonuses and rebates that they will get, bonuses that they will get, and the more happy they will be, and the better decision you will be taking in your organization, and the longer the sustainability culture that you will have in your organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I do hope that everyone has benefited from your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much, Mala Aminu Yao. God bless you richly. Thank you so much.
All right. Mr.
Napoleon, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, can we move to the next two questions?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Now, the first question to our chairman that is representing the person that is supposed to have taken this question. Now, question one, what are the likely competencies the HR manager should look out for in talent acquisition that will propel customer-centric workforce in an organization? I repeat it. What are the likely competencies the HR managers should look out for in talent acquisition that will propel customer-centric workforce in an organization? Of course, it will lead to subsequent productivity and the rest. So what are those things that we'll look out for? Then number two, what role does strategic compensation and reward system play in driving an efficient customer service orientation? What role does strategic compensation? Of course, when you talk about talent management, you're talking about differentials in compensation. So it has to do whatever you bring on board, this is what you get. So it's all about what you can give. It's no longer like personnel management like we used to have in those days. Whatever you bring on board, you are rewarded accordingly. So what role does strategic compensation and reward system plays in driving an efficient customer service orientation? Mr. Manuel, the chairman, please, you can do justice to that.
Thank you, Mr. Napoleon, the registrar. I want to appreciate that. I want to take it from the very, very germane and notable statements the lead speaker made towards the end of his presentation. He did mention that every HR practitioner, HR manager must have a 360 degree understanding of what the business is all about. And that is very key. And that is a guiding light for every HR managers to understand that. And so understanding that will also enable some key strategic decisions at the point of recruitment. Competencies. We all realize that at some point, competencies is becoming louder. and more contributory than looking out for certifications and certificates. And of course, they are good in their own way, but very important that we look out for some strategic competencies in our recruitment and talent acquisition processes. And I will mention a few of them because of our time. Our time is fast spent. And very key, there's an adoption in our firm in the point of our recruitment. One of the things we do is the first point of contact with employees at screening level, at processes of recruitment. We made it very clear that organizations, serious business-minded organizations, no longer look for employees. They are looking out for partners, business partners. And if business must acquire partners, not just employee, the 8 to 5 mentality employee, organizations are moving away from that orientation. So it means you must be specific about strategic competencies that will be needed to drive the overall goal of the organization. Just like Malaya, I've also said that every organization set their rules and have set their goals, and they are to drive it. And how do you drive it? You drive it with your workforce. These are the team that drive it. So first, competencies are diverse need, and I mean, and numerous. But I've just mentioned a few. For example, directly related to what we are the subject tonight, customer service and overall corporate performance. You realize that you need a sound communication skill candidate, a candidate with solid communication skill background, somebody who has the ability to effectively listen and understand, effectively has capacity to listen and understand customers. Very, very important. It is a skill that sometimes you don't get this from the four walls of the classrooms, but it is developed over time. And so because of acquiring talent, you must be able to specifically look out for these skills in recruitment. And empathy, another skill that is very important, another competency is empathy. Today, employees are no longer empathizing with their customers. They primarily think of themselves first. They no longer do that extra mile empathy that is expected of them. At some point, every manager that is acquiring talent for such placement must look out for staff, employee with capacity to understand and share customers' feeling and perspective. Very, very important that we fit into the goal of the organization. Another very important competency is problem-solving skills. And to mention some of these things. Problem-solving skills. We are in a complex society. We are in a complex society in such a way that decisions have to be taken on the go. Skills to solve problems is very key and germane to delivering value to customers. At some point, you come across issues, complaints, by customers. Decisions are to be taken. At some point, you have few seconds to take decisions. So you need competencies around problem-solving skills. And so you look out in the course of your screening, your recruitment processes, employee with problem-solving skills. Adaptability is another very important competence that must be possessed by anyone who will deliver along the line of the goal of an organization, a customer-centric organization. Adaptability. You must be able to weather every storm at some point. Willingness to adapt to changing customer needs and market trends. Things are changing, tastes are changing, customer orientation are changing, the demand needs are changing, budget are changing. And so, you must look for employee, a potential employee that will have these skills. Then we also have positive attitude. There's this common saying that positive attitude is everything. I am sure a number of us on this call must have experienced one excellent customer service somewhere and the other side. Attitude is key and speaks volume at every contact with customers. A customer-focused mindset with a positive and friendly on customer service excellence. Attitude, you can't hide it. And so even at the point of the play, for example, the lead speaker was talking about a particular experience, where a question was asked about somebody who has the ability to, he said, I don't like working, I like office work. That is to tell you what such person would deliver upon engagement. So positive attitude to work, positive attitude to life, positive attitude to self is very key. And these are some of the competencies I must be looking at. Emotional intelligence is key. Today, it is expected that every employee must possess this quality. Emotional intelligence in working, you must understand yourself and understand people that works around you. You must be able to discern when it is go and when it is to come. You must understand everything around people that work with you and that work within your system. And so these are very important skills that are very important to note and look out for during recruitment. Customer service skills is also very important, very key, and that germane. Customer service skills, there are questions, leading questions to detect a staff or an employee that will be customer focused and customer centric in the course of discharging their duty. Teamwork is very important. Teamwork is important. Time management is of essence. Time management is key to excellent customer service that will lead to overall corporate performance. Then continuous learning. You must improve every day. The workforce must be such that you'll be willing to learn and improve on performance every day. Then another very strategic is cultural competencies, understanding cultural backgrounds, cultural orientation of your customer circle. You must understand and appreciate the diverse customer background and needs. You are dealing with a customer in the north. The way you deal with the customer in the north may not be the way you deal with the customer from the south. And you must be able to accommodate even religions. You must be a fellow. So you look out for these competencies, ability to dynamically, to be able to handle different cultural appeals, cultural perspective, and even religion, and deal whether yourself in terms of customers' satisfaction. And this is very key. And lastly, I will mention on this call is technical skills. Customer satisfaction will also be driven by a well thought out technical skills. Technical skill is very germane, and this is no longer a time where you get graduates or get people to your business that cannot handle simple processes on the system. And these are very, very important. And that's, I think, all these competencies must be prioritized if you must achieve an overall goal of building a cultural, a service excellence, a culture of service excellence that will lead to overall corporate performance in every organization. The type, the people, and the culture, the overall talent must be defined by the skills and competencies that will enhance performance in the course of their work. And going to the second question that has to do with strategic compensation and reward system for our employee. We cannot separate performance with reward. Performance, we must at every point in time institute a performance-driven reward system in an organization. Performance-driven reward system is very key to the overall achievement of corporate goals on any organization. And so a number of strategic reward system must be lined out. Number one, I believe that aligning employee behavior, customer service goals to the customer service goal of the organization is very key. You must be able to align what are the motivational drivers for the workforce. You must be able to discover what motivates Mr. A, Mr. B, and align the corporate goal in terms of customer service to achieving all of this. Motivating employees in their way to deliver exceptional services is very key. And this motivation comes in diverse ways. Sometimes I've seen employees who prioritize recognition, prioritize salary increment, prioritize some want deployment into other category of the business and all of that. We must look out of this to deliver value and have a corporate achievement. Recognizing and rewarding is very key. Every human being likes recognition. Every human being likes to be rewarded for good work. And this is very, very important. Encouraging teamwork is important in, the reward system. Improving employee engagement per time is very strategic to delivering overall corporate culture that will improve the performance of every organization. And of course, enhancing employee retention strategy. One of the things that is very harmful to any organization is labor turnover. Every corporate organization must ensure that your labor turnover rate is managed to the barest minimum because it has a corporate face. When the labor turnover of any organization is high, it demoralizes employees, they feel insecure, and they tend to opt out at every little opportunity. So you must ensure that your retention strategy are germane and very deployed to specifically address concerns of employees. And driving accountability is also very good, very key to reward system. Accountability, Malaya was mentioning it, that you must be able to match your reward with, okay, I think it's the moderator that mentioned it while I was to speak, that you must be able to match your reward system with your expectations. You must be able to match your reward system with your expectation. And I think because of time, I would like to end it by saying supporting training and development is very, very important. Training and development is a system that must be institutionalized in every organization that must achieve corporate goal in terms of building a sound corporate culture that will lead to overall corporate performance. I will leave it here so that we'll give room for one or two questions from the participants tonight, and they will be able to have answers. I'm sure our lead speaker is still here, which we need to release him now to attend to other things in a short while, but not without allowing questions from the audience. So if you have questions, I think the registrar will take care of it. I mean, Mr. Napoleon will handle that. Thank you, Mr. Napoleon. Okay. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Napoleon. Unmute yourself, Mr. Napoleon.
Yes, I've just done that. Thank you so much. You are wearing two caps. That was quite insightful. We appreciate that very precise answers to the two questions we asked. We'll do our best to see how we can close within the next 10 minutes. So we'll open the floor. You have a question, you just raise up your hand. You'll be unmuted from the technical crew there, and then you ask your question, go straight to the point, and then it will be answered. Thank you so much for your time. So we'll have 10 minutes to do that so we can hand over to the chairman to close the program. So we have 10 minutes, please. You have question, raise up your hand. You'll be unmuted to ask. Okay, you have question, you just raise up your hand. You'll be unmuted to ask, please.
Okay, we have one. Please kindly unmute yourself and speak.
Good evening.
Yeah.
So I want to appreciate the speakers for job well done and presentation. I just want to ask that how is it possible for one to provide a customer service to customers that are bent at not changing, that have had a fixed mindset, who are not ready to grow with the dynamism of the organization? How is it possible for one to carry such customer along? Thank you.
Thank you. I think our lead speaker will be in the right position to deal with this. He's in the industry of people with high expectations.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. And thanks for the question, Rafi, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so everybody has a tipping point. Everybody has a point of what you would touch and the person, or what you will ask, or what you will do for that person to do a turnaround. Every individual has got that. That's not to say there are no difficult customers, but the truth of it is that, you see, our demeanor, your demeanor when you meet a very difficult customer, your demeanor, your approach, so to speak. The TAP's chairman talked so much about a positive approach, a positivity, as it were, right? This is wrapped up in emotional intelligence. I've met customers who are very difficult. I say, don't go there. I said, no, don't worry. And I went and I do one or two things. Let me give you one example. I had a customer several years ago, just about 20 years ago. I used to be a sales rep with Swiss Pharma, formerly Roche Nigeria, pharmaceutical company. Okay. They said this man is a very difficult man. I was covering Abuja down to the northwestern part. So I went to him. Of course, he gave me that attitude. But before I got there, I had done what we call the background check about the customer, right? And when I met him, they had told me his wife just gave birth, Igbo man and all that. And guess what I did? This was an A-list customer who buy, then he could buy up to $1 million. I'm talking about 20 years ago, so you know what that means. Okay, so, and I went to, greeted, he gave me the attitude. And when I was going, I didn't talk to him. I bought this big 2 bars of yam and I dropped it for his boy. I told his boy to follow me to the vehicle. I said, give it to Oga to give it to Madam. Now, I know and I understand that for an Igbo man whose wife have given birth, yams is not just traditional, it's a mark of honor to say your wife had done well. 3 tubers of yam that didn't cost me anything, and I left. I didn't say a word. This guy started sending people to me. He's late now, but up to the point I left the pharma industry, I tell him what to buy. He doesn't, when he writes an order, I will say, AMVAC, change this order, increase them. You say, my guy, increase them. Right? That is it. I know I've given an extreme experience. They are spot on experience, but I want you to know, it's just like if you meet a policeman, maybe I need to share this. My customer experience taught me this. You meet a policeman and then ask him. He says, hey, stop. Don't say, good afternoon, officer. How is your family? Especially, even when he doesn't have a family, you have taught something. If you try it 4 out of 5 times, that police will be nice and kind to you. Ask him of his family. Just say, yeah, iyali. How is in Hausa language? How is your family? Or I'm an Idoma from Benue State. Statistics shows that 2 out of every 5 police officer is an Idoma man, directly or indirectly. So when I go, most times I just look at their name and I say, Pake. I say, Adakole, how are you? Abule. He said, Idoma ne. Just for instance, everybody has something. Your ability to instinctively identify that thing at that spot, it's, adaptability. Mr. Emmanuel spoke about it. Being able to adapt and allow your instinct to guide you immediately will change the narration. So everyone, you can't give up on a customer. If organization give up on customers, they will not be where they are. If you're obsessed about a customer, you will go the extra mile until you break that customer. You take him to that tipping point. Thank you. I don't know if I answered you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think Mr. Napoleon, carry on from there if there are other questions. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Napoleon.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Thank God. We appreciate that. When you were giving the example, it reminded me of a scenario, but I won't go into that now.
So everybody go here. You know how to deal with Nigerian police now. Ask for their family.
That one is for another episode. All right. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Do we have any other question? Please just kindly
unmute yourself,
and then you unmute yourself and do.
I think there is a question.
Thank you
on
very
the chat.
much.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Derek.
Hashim, his hand is up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mine is a commendation. I want to commend the paper presenter for a wonderful paper. The paper is nice, good, very educative. And Alhaji Aminu Ya'u, for the two questions he answers, is very educative. And Mr. Emmanuel, I want to thank you all. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Derek. I'm in Uganda, Kampala. And
Wow.
I have enjoyed the first class. I enjoyed so much for HR practitioners as entrepreneurs. Even this one, I have really enjoyed so much. I fell in love with Nigeria. So yeah, even with the classes I take with Lapraj. My question is, SARS, there are HR people who cut across. For example, you may have, you are one director or founder, but you have like 5 companies, one in banking, another one hospital, another one is the maybe chemical industry, another one is construction company, one person. And your top management, maybe the chief people person is one. How can you have the skills to cut across those different industries? I understand maybe the board is one, but you have different sectors and companies in different sectors. How do you make sure that your customers who are different are satisfied by the same HR practitioner who is customer-centric, but customers are cutting hospital, banking, construction, and industry? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead and answer the question, sir.
Okay.
Go on, Alhaji.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Before I even go to the question, I want to welcome him because joining us from Uganda is a very good one. And I also want to extend an invitation to him to attend our international conference and exhibition that is coming up in October here in Abuja. So going into your question, from my experience, I will say that you can't have an organization that is into different line of businesses that is independent, and having the same HR. I'll tell you why. If you want to have a very good HR, it is expected that you have different line of business. You may have overall, for example, director HR or whoever in charge, but for hospital, you should have their own HR, like HR staff there with them. Because you can't have hospital, pharmaceutical, for example, let's say beverages, all in the same building. And many a times, even with automation that we are doing, there are certain things that you need people with specific skills to be in a particular place. So the type of customers you have in hospital definitely are different customers from those that are in like beverage, those that are buying foodstuff, for example. So their expectations are different. You understand? Their expectations are totally different. So customer here, we are talking about both internal and external. External customers are those that are coming to buy your goods and services. Internal customers are those that are within receiving services from one another. So if you are operating a hospital, you have external customers that are coming. Their expectations are different. So you should have a set of people that are handling their own issues and concerns. Because a medical doctor that is attending to patient, the patient is a customer to him. A nurse in that hospital attending to a patient, that patient is her customer. So for HR, you can have a HR that is only responsible for recruitment, promotion, performance management, whatever, all aspect of human resource activity. But the customer service job, that is why I think even the lead presenter and what we have all mentioned is that customers are of two types. There are internal and external. So we need to understand and separate that what the expectation of an internal customer is different from the expectation of an external customer. An internal customer for an organization like this that you just mentioned, I believe can have, of course, the same HR because it is about recruitment. In some organizations, you can see that even their HR, some part of HR is being outsourced, which means anybody can do it. So it's not like something that somebody cannot do it. No, anybody can do recruitment. So a good recruitment team can recruit for pharmacy, pharmaceutical company, can recruit for hospital, can recruit for Coca-Cola, for example, can recruit for MTN, that is. And also for promotion, performance management, the same team can handle performance management of both hospitals, MTN, a bank, and what have you. But when it's come to external customer, dealing with external customer, you don't expect, anybody to be in hospital. Somebody who is in hospital, he has the training. He should have a particular training that is expected of him as somebody who works in a hospital environment. Even looking at the nature of their customers, that is where you will start. Because whatever training you are giving somebody in terms of customer service, the first thing is, who are the target customers? You need to understand the target customers. By understanding the target customers, then you now tailor the training you are giving him, towards that. So for me, I would say, from your question, depending on the customer you are talking about, is it the internal or the external? If it is internal, yes, I agree 100% that the same HR can handle all of the aspects of human resource in the various groups of that organization. If it is external customer, that one, I will strongly suggest that there should be specific training tailored to each service, tailored to each, looking at customer specification and what have you. I think the lead presenter may have one or two addition to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alhaji.
To add to that, before you answer in addition, someone wrote that how can she transit to HR profession fully? So maybe Mr. Emmanuel will do that at the end of the additional answer that the next person will. That's Chidima Sandra Ore. She asked that how can she transit to HR profession fully? So put that at the back of your mind, please, Mr. Emmanuel. Then you just close with that.
All right. Thank you. That will be done. That will be done.
Okay. Just to add to what Alhaji has said, the fundamentals of customer service are universal. Take them anywhere, they will fit in. But specific industry, like my friend from Uganda, and by the way, good to hear your voice. It's such a privilege to have a Ugandan here. So the universality of customer service principles is germane, is profound, is global, right? If you're obsessed with if an organization is obsessed with customers in America, if it comes to Nigeria to do another type of business, all they need to do is to adapt to the specificity of what that industry speaks to, right? So number one is for HR generally to understand that, look, if the culture of organization is that we are customer-centric, then the competency watch out or competencies they will pick, they will look out for in prospective employees must speak to that. Now, then some tailored training, like, of course, a janitor who works in an office, in an organization that produces maybe things like kettle, right? So that janitor who works for that organization and another sector must understand that, look, customer service, but if he goes to the janitorial location, he must also now be specifically trained on how to go about it. You don't barge into you don't barge into a room, you don't barge into an office, where to knock, where to mop, how to leave the place. You understand me, even the courtesy of coming in, not looking like a thug, all those basic things will come in. But the fundamentals, for instance, I just told you I was in pharma. I was in pharma industry, pharmaceuticals completely, going to the hospital, going to the pharmacy shop, and then I found myself in telecoms, right? But the basic thing is that each time I went for training, I realized that the fundamentals are the same, but now there are bespoke training that speaks to specific, right? So, but generally, if a broad HR team exists for this organization that have subsidiary, right? They might now have HR business partner for this, but when you come collectively, they have a philosophy that speaks to the same language. Now, the business partner for each of the units will now tailor specifically policies, culture that speaks to that particular industry that they are facing. So what the business partner will do is a subset of the global fundamentals of the customer culture that the organization, believes in. Thank you. Hope I'm able to provide some insight there.
Yeah, very well, sir, very well. So over to you, Mr. Emmanuel. You are wearing two caps.
Thank you, the moderator, Mr. Napoleon, the Registrar Cardinal Customer Service School. I want to thank our lead speaker tonight for your time. This is quite interesting to have you for this long. On behalf of the branch, we want to sincerely appreciate you. And our own Malam Aminu Yau, thank you for your time. We are already entering into bedtime for a number of people. And at this time, we still have a number of our participants still online. I sincerely want to appreciate Malam Yau. I want to especially thank all our branch chairmen who are here. Earlier, we have my colleagues, the branch chairman of Ebonyi State was here earlier. And
I'm still here. Good evening, everyone.
Wow. I wanted to hear from you, Mr. Ike. Dr. Ike, I thank you for staying with us. Thank you for staying with us.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for staying with us. Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you for staying with us.
Okay,
I want to also especially thank all our ESCOs in the branch who are here. I don't know if Madam Diola is here. Madam Diola, our ECM. You can actually unmute yourself if you are here. Madam Diola, I'm still looking out for you here. And of course, our ESCO, Mr. Didam, Ajamina, Malam Bukar, and all our team that have put this together. I want to thank the management of Laplage Metaverse for this wonderful collaboration. And of course, our friend from Uganda, and I'm sure we have several other participants tonight from the UK, from Canada, from Ghana, and all of them are here with us. We want to thank you for your participation and for your time and for your patience while we're dealing with the network challenge. Very quickly, I would like to mention, I will have asked my ECM to speak about that. Malam Aminu, I think, will you be able to quickly answer the question of the membership matter? I believe you
Okay, sorry, what's the question, Mr. Chairman?
No, it's just to do an overall route. I mean, the membership protocols.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Membership
Thank you so much.
Protocols of CIPM. So please, I believe you will be in better position to handle that right now.
Yes, thank you so much. Let me quickly give a summary of that. One, for the benefit of those that are joining us for the first time, this program is organized by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, Kaduna branch, Kaduna State branch. And this institute is established in the last 56 years. It has been in existence, doing a lot in terms of professional development. It is chartered by an act of the National Assembly. It is responsible for the regulating the practice of human resource profession in Nigeria. As we speak, you are all aware that there is a circular from the head of service of the Federation that speak to the professionalization of human resource management. So as we speak, it is more like a requirement for anybody who is practicing HR to be a member of a professional body, to be like a professional member, you know, a licensed member, just like 𝐂𝐿 with accountant. CIPM is the one regulating the practice of human resource management. So if you are interested in HR, or you are already practicing HR and you are not registered with CIPM, I want to tell you that you are operating without license, because as we speak, all those that are members of CIPM, they have license which permitted them to practice human resource management in Nigeria. And there are basically there are 3 routes by which you can be a member of CIPM. There is a student route that you can join CIPM through exam. There is a practitioner's route that, of course, looking at your experience, will give you opportunity to be a member. And we have executive route for those senior HR leaders, you know, that have been practicing for years. They have reached the echelon of their career and they have never had the opportunity of professionalizing their career by joining a professional body. So these 3 routes, of course, are specifically made. And of course, for the student route, is of 2 types. You know, we have 2 basic levels by which you can join. For those that are graduates without any work experience, they will start from intermediate. And for those that, you know, have started work, they have some degree, some level of experience, and maybe they have additional qualification like master's degree, they will start with professional stage. And of course, for the practitioner's route, we look out for people that are at their supervisory role, you know, and we want to have an evidence that they must have participated in any HR-related training in the last 5 years. So we need like 5 trainings that will show, yes, their involvement in HR and their exposure to human resource management. That way, without writing any exam, they can be invited for a 2-day training, like intensive training on human resource management that will lead to their induction as an associate members of our great institute. And of course, like I said, the last one, which is the executive route, is for senior HR leaders, people that are at their directorate level, if they are interested in joining. Of course, with this circular, I want to encourage them to join, because the circular specifically mentioned that going forward, anybody that does not register with a professional body, he will not be promoted again. That is, he will, like, his promotion will be stagnated if he's already at the directed level. If he has not attained that, he will not be promoted to directed level. So it is important for us on this call, those of us that are at that level and have not yet registered, to join CIPM as quickly as possible, register, get your license, evidence that, yes, a body certify you in terms of competency to practice human resource management in Nigeria. And as we speak, beyond the learning sessions that we do like this, our flagship event is our international conference that is coming up this year in Abuja in the month of October. It is interesting to tell you that CIPM is beyond the shores of Nigeria as we speak, because we have branch in UK, a branch in Canada, and other places that we hope in a very near future our branches will be open. Beyond that, as we speak, we signed an MOU with CIPD based in UK and Society for Human Resource Management in the United States of America. As we speak, we are at the final stage of concluding our MOU with CIPD, such that once you have CIPM, automatically, I think you will have quite a number of exemptions. You only have to maybe sit for a few subjects that are relating to UK laws and other things related to them that you'll be qualified to be given CIPD membership. So also with SHAM. As we speak, the CIPM has already developed its book of knowledge. We have handshake with CIPD and SHRM. So this is to tell you that CIPM, of course, is an international human resource institute as we speak. And that is why even our conference, we no longer have annual national conference. We are having international conference. And beyond that, our international conference, we always have international speakers, international delegates. That is to tell you that, yes, we have gone international. And by joining CIPM, be rest assured, you will have the international outlook, international connection, and international network. So with these few words, I want to encourage all those that are interested in getting themselves professionals in terms of human resource management practice to look out for any of our members nearest to you, wherever you are. Specifically, if you are in Kaduna, of course, the branch chairman and his team, they are there readily available to attend to any of your concern and to guide you in your registration. If you are not in Kaduna, wherever you are, I will encourage the branch chairman to drop his phone number now on the WhatsApp so that whoever wants to join can contact you and he can connect you with the branch that is nearest to wherever you are and get the needed guidance. I'm very much available whenever you need me for guidance. as an elected council member of this, our great institute, it is my duty to ensure that I provide customer service to our customers wherever they are and to exceed their expectation. I hope that with these few words, I'm able to service you as my customers and to have exceeded your expectation. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for this opportunity.
Thank you, my ECM. Thank you for your time. I sincerely appreciate you for this. And thank you for all our participants. He has said it all. And just for some questions that a number of you are asking, again, I want to thank Dr. 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐌, ACIPM Chairman of Ebonyi State Branch. In case you are calling from Ebonyi, he has dropped his number.
Thank you.
And,
thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you and for your time. I thank all our ESCO here. I thank all our branch chairmen that on this call. I cannot really mention all now, but Mr. Derek, thank you from Uganda. Thank you so much. The payment for this certificate are different platforms where you have this advert, you can get the direction for payment, and your certificate will be processed as soon as payment is confirmed, and you will get all of this done. So please go ahead to process your payment, and certificate will be ready as soon as possible. Thank you. The payment for certificate members are 5,000, member of CIPM, and of course, non-members are 7,000 naira. Thank you once again. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you, the Registrar Kaduna Customer Service School. Thank you for your time. Thank you for moderating this event for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Napoleon. I want to thank our lead speaker. This is a big one for us, having you for this long, because I know you are a very busy person. Just like Malam Yahoo, I know by now you should be somewhere cooling down, and but he's here with us. I'm encouraged, providing leadership for us on this call. I'm encouraged, and this is well noted. This is well noted. Thank you. I want to also tell you that apart from being married to a female wife, Mr. Thank is also a pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, a very senior pastor for that matter, and so he's doing well. And I think apart from the learning that we have taken today, he has also given us a clue to manage Nigerian police. Just ask, how is their family? They will let you go. They will let you go. Just ask them, how is their family? They will let you go. All right. Once again, I thank you. And
thank you so much.
By the grace of God, we will, coincidentally, myself and Pastor Thank God, we are in Lagos, and we will see again in Kaduna, and to present our institute plaque. For this presentation is a symbol of acknowledgement of impactful knowledge you have done for us tonight. And this will go a long way. It has gone a long way with us. Malam Yahoo, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough, really. I can't thank you enough. This is to 10, and we are still here. I thank you. I thank you. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Thank you so much. And all our expos, all our participants, thank you for time. I saw a number of very, very important personality here. Doctors, professors, we have them here. 𝐿APLAJ Metaverse, our partner. You are doing well, and we appreciate all the students from Kaduna Customer Service School, from 𝐿APLAJ Metaverse. We appreciate you for your time. And please, the recorded version of this will also be made available. You can listen to it later. And also your program, your certificate will be processed as soon as payments are confirmed. Once again, thank you and good night. From us at Kaduna CIPM, thank you. Malam Yahoo, thank you. Thank God, Pastor Thank God, please, I want to thank you for your time and appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Napoleon, I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
God bless everyone. Thank
you.
Yes. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I hope we'll have the slides much later, because that slide is very powerful.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. Malayawi. Mungodi.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mama Linda. Thank you. I can see Malam Didam. Mr. Turaki.
My Chairman Kaduna, please tell our members to kindly go to our website to find the branch chairman's phone number, because they are posting on the chat box where they can ask him questions, so that wherever they are, they can make a call to get our branch chairman's number. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Let me just throw that straight away. We see we have 55 people here. Our website is www.cipmnigeria.org. That's the institute website, www.cipmnigeria.org. www.cipmnigeria.org. And on our flyer, my number is there. The number of the branch secretary is there. And we can have on the flyers contact numbers. And I can assure you, just like our ECM has said, we will attend to your inquiries. And we look forward to seeing you at our ICE conference coming up in October. Thank you once again, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was so insightful.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Lafarge, for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, everyone. Thank you for your time, everyone.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir.